Hello everyone, welcome to Kick It. On this week's episode, we look at the Time Spinner demo, and don't forget to use the traps. It was closed, but Ninja Pizza Girl was funded with 38 hours to spare. So, congratulations. Dreamfall has announced that it will now be console exclusive to the PS4, while it will still be coming to the PC. The much talked about Wii U version is now on the shelf. Back last year, the devs Red Thread Games received a dev kit from Nintendo, and their comments were, quote, "So far, they've been very helpful and supportive, and it's been a painless and surprisingly rapid process." However, since the PS4 exclusivity, they've seemed to have backtracked on the Wii U, claiming a lack of RAM as the reason, but saying they would love to make a game for the system. Back last year, the creators of the Cold Genesis game Boogerman went to Kickstarter asking for almost $400,000 to make a new Boogerman to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Sadly, it only raised about 10%, and confirmed recently that the project was dead. So, as tributes, Earthbound-influenced RPG Citizens of Earth, which had its Kickstarter sadly fail last year before getting picked up by Atlas, is now set for release this November. Shantae Half Hero Genie updated us with some new footage this past week, and also stated that an October 2014 release date is now seeming unlikely due to all the new work they're putting into the game. Time Spinner opened up its development forum this past week and included a link to the first demo. We begin in Lake Desolation, playing as the lead character, Luinus. We can move, we can jump, we can attack, and of course the main feature, we can stop time. Our time-stopping power is shown by an hourglass in the top left corner, and holding down attack delivers a charge attack. Obviously. The time power allows you to approach the game from many different angles. Then you face a boss, then you get the chance to repeat the level all over again. Honestly, even though it's early days, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And if you pledge $25 or more, you get access to the dev forum and access to this demo. Back during the early 90s, when the concept of putting games onto CDs was starting to gather steam, some developers took it as a chance to, instead of making bigger versions of games that already existed, scrap the pixels and sprites for video cameras and cheesy acting. And when I say some developers, I mean Digital Pictures. And the game you're all thinking of is Night Trap. Filmed back in 1986, led by Different Strokes star Dana Plato, the game was all about you watching security cameras in a house that was occupied by vampires. And your job was to protect the girl who was visiting the house from these creatures called augurs. Overall, a pretty damn cheesy vampire film. But I've seen worse. Oh! Anyway, the thing people usually remember with Night Trap was it being one of the main games used in the 1993 Sand hearings on video game violence, alongside Mortal Kombat and Doom. Hearings that would birth the ESRB. Now, why bring this up? Well, Tom Zito, James Riley, Mark Klein, and Rob Fulop, four of the main people who worked at Night Trap's developer, the now defunct Digital Pictures, want to bring it back in HD. Yay? The newly founded Night Trap LLC are asking for $330,000 to bring the cult classic to PC, Mac, Xbox, and PlayStation. However, something feels a little off with this campaign. Firstly, they plan to release this as a physical release for backers, with only $330,000. Zito has said in an interview that they've spent $250,000 already to purchase the rights to Night Trap. Also, the rewards are fine at first. $20 for a copy, $40 for an autographed copy, but then you have $350 for a handwritten note on a vintage piece of stationery. And then for $10,000, you can have your name as executive producer. One thing that seriously concerns me is that no gameplay at all was shown the pitch. I mean, we need to at least know what their 25-year-old plus footage is going to look like in HD. But what really got me was their reason as to why they won't be releasing the game on Nintendo. This is their exact wording, I swear to God.
Ever hear the term, never burn bridges? Well, Howard Lincoln, the former president of Nintendo US, made our lives miserable during the 994 SAD hearings on video game violence. Not only did he quietly suggest to congressmen, through the use of Nintendo-supplied and heavily edited footage, that they should demonize Night Trap rather than Nintendo's Mortal Kombat, but he also declared publicly that Night Trap would never appear on a Nintendo system. And he was right. As much as Nintendo desperately needs publishers to support their third-place platform, we won't be one of them. There's just too much bad blood between us and them.
Now, ignoring the fact that Howard Lincoln hasn't worked at Nintendo in, 15 years? The company itself is completely different to the assholes it was back in the late 80s and early 90s. Do I believe what they claim? Not my place to say, but all that seems moot now because 4 days after the campaign launch, they announced they were considering a Wii U version and applied for a dev kit. They also said that if this campaign is successful, they'll consider bringing back other digital picture classics like Sewer Shark and Corpse Killer and Double Switch and Ground Zero Texas. They also considered making a Night Trap 2. But I just don't see this working. Honestly, the only reason Night Trap was ever successful was due to the controversy. I just don't see people clamoring to play something they can easily play on any number of emulators. Or, hell, just watching the footage online. Right now, they've barely made 10% of their goal. And honestly, there's only one Sega CD game that deserves to be brought back. And it ain't this. Well, anyway, thanks for watching the latest episode of Kick It. Let me know of any projects you'd like me to feature in the comments below. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
You know, I have this horrible feeling that 20 years from now, somebody's going to call me and say, Jim, we want to do an interview, you know. And I'm going to say, great, you know, is it Wirehead? Is it this new show? And, no, Night Trap, the classic, the great, you know, we want to get the behind the scenes of Night Trap. Yeah, I'm going to be pulling this stupid binder out, you know, every 5 years going, yeah, well, we had a lot of fun.
Night Trap. Na, 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 Night Trap. Night Trap. I gotta admit, that song was bloody catchy though.